Well, I'm Mike Moss. I'm the Director of Parks here in Smyrna, and honored to be in that position and honored to be here tonight. We get a lot of support in the Parks and Recreation Department here, and if I counted right, this is the 31st year of this award, and we're excited to be a part of that. Obviously, it's a little different this year, and along with everything else, but it's okay. You know, we're doing it virtual and spreading out and that type of thing, but we're excited to be able to honor the people that make this town somehow, and I feel like we're doing a good job of that. I'd like to say thanks to Smyrna TV and Kathy and Brett for being flexible to make this event happen virtually. And I also want to be the first to congratulate the award recipients and nominees. We had quite a few Young Leader nominees and Lifetime Service Award nominees, and that lets me know that there's a lot more coming this way for many years. And just excited to have those people that have been a part of the park system, excited to have the people get recognized as recipients tonight. The history of the banquet, it started in 1990, and Mr. Victory was the first one to win that Lifetime Service Award, and he's here tonight, and after 31 years, I'm excited about that as well. This thing started a long time ago and still runs strong, which shows that we got a lot of people that's volunteering and worthy of this award. The nomination process, it pretty much goes through the Parks Advisory Board. Nominees are submitted to the Parks Advisory Board, and they vote on that in November. And then we usually have this in February. This year it's in March. But the Parks Advisory Board, to hold the numbers down, we didn't have them here tonight, but we're excited about the people that's on that board and the people that serve, and they do a great job. So I want to make sure that we tell them thank you for doing that. Also, we have a great town council and our town managers. We get a lot of support from those ladies and gentlemen. They just believe in Parks and Rec, and they believe in this town and what it means to people, and we're very lucky to have that. I'm going to ask you to stand up. I'm going to have Jerry Short come up, Councilman Jerry Short come up and say the prayer. Remain standing, then I'm going to call the color guard up here to present the colors in the pledge.
Would you pray with me? Our Father in heaven, we're so thankful for this day, Lord. We're so thankful for the blessings that you give us, Father. We're thankful to live in a town that we're in now, Lord, that you blessed us with, Father. We're so thankful for those employees that work so hard to keep it this way, Lord. And Father, we're so thankful to be here tonight to honor those that are doing what you ask us to do, and that's to serve. And we're so thankful for those that have given up their time, Father, to make a difference in this community, Lord. We ask you to bless them. We ask you to bless their families, Father. Lord, continue to be with us, Lord, as we go through this meeting and ceremony tonight, Father. And again, just so thankful to be here, so happy to be here, Lord. And again, just bless them. And Father, just go with us now, and I pray this in Christ's name. Amen.
I'll present to you the Smyrna Fire Department Honor Guard.
Present. Oh.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Oh. Right. Face. Ready. Step.
They always do a fine job. I know they participate in a lot of festivities and a lot of events, and we're very proud to have them every year. And I appreciate Chief Bill Culberson making that happen and Marty asking them to make that happen. Another thing I get to do every year is introduce our mayor. Mayor Marissa Reed is going to speak tonight, and I think this event is always true to her heart. And she's a lifelong resident of Smyrna, Tennessee, and served on the town council since 2003. She served on the Parks Advisory Board, the Planning Commission, and served as vice mayor before mayor, and served on numerous boards and committees. I'm not going to count them or name them, but she is involved. She's a Smyrna High School graduate, Has earned numerous degrees from Middle Tennessee State University, and an avid MTSU fan. Served the community as a classroom teacher at John Coleman and Smyrna Primary Schools, and for the last several years has owned and operated the Learning Circle, an education supply store in Murfreesboro. She's active in the community by serving on numerous boards, and if you look around the town, you're going to see her and her family have served on many and gotten a lot of things done, including the Boys and Girls Club and many parks projects. The Coos Memorial became a reality for her heading that committee and making that happen, and we get a lot of praise for that, and to be able to honor Captain Coos in that way is a really big deal for a town like Smyrna. The town is certainly moving under her direction and leadership, and she's a big part of what we do in Parks and Recreation, and a good leader for us. So I introduce to you Mayor Mary Esther Reed.
Good evening. How is everybody? Oh, good. Well, first of all, I want to tell you this is probably the night that I enjoy the most in the job that I get to do as mayor of the town of Smyrna. Mike said it's near and dear to my heart, and parks is something that I don't remember not being a part of my life. We were always at the ball field. Most of the time it was the girls' softball field. But it's always been a part of our family, and it's always been a part of this community. I will tell you, Parks and Recreation is also important to our town council, and I want to introduce you to some of our town council for those of you that don't know our council. So we have Councilman Jerry Short. Jerry, if you'll kind of wave or stand up, and Vice Mayor Mark Adkins, Town Manager Brian Hercules, Councilman H.G. Cole, and we also have Councilwoman Raquel Peebles, Councilman Steve Sullivan, and Councilman Tim Morrell, who were not able. Steve's supposed to be here, but the other two had other commitments. But we're very sorry they weren't able to be here, but wanted to make sure that I passed along congratulations. You know, one of the best things about living in the town of Smyrna is the volunteer spirit. No matter what we're doing, there is someone that's always willing to step up and to volunteer, whether it's through church, through nonprofits, or through our ball leagues. There's no way we could do in the town of Smyrna what we do through athletics without volunteers. Many times people think of the volunteers just as being the coaches, but so many times it's not only the coaches, it's the team moms, it's the scorekeepers, it's the concession workers, it's the boards that make those leagues possible, but it's also those families. Because many times there's one person that's out front doing the work, but there's also a family that's behind that person. It's the family that is at home keeping things running while that person's at the field working concession stand or picking up trash. So when we think of volunteers, I think we don't just need to think about that individual that might be there participating, but also the family that's behind them. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our Parks Department. We would, I always tell people there is no parks across this country better than the parks here at the town of Smyrna. And for so many of us that have played travel ball or go to other communities, we get to see that. We get to see what wonderful park systems that we have here in the town of Smyrna. So to the Parks Department, thanks so much for what you do day in and day out to provide us with a great opportunity with top-notch facilities. Mr. Gleason, congratulations on your award. It is so deserving. So many of my childhood memories include you and your family, whether it was trips to watch the team you coached play ball out of state, or whether it was you umpiring at the field on 8th Avenue. So thank you for what you've done for our community and what your family has done as well. Also want to congratulate our Young Leader Award winner, Sandra Kamal, for a job well done as well. I want to end with a quote from Coretta Scott King. Says, "The greatest of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members." I think that's so fits the town of Smyrna because of the compassion that our citizens show and being willing to step up and to volunteer. So for all of you out there, thank you for what you do in making Smyrna a better place to live, work, and play.
Thank you for the compliments, Mayor, and thank you for the support, and not only from the town council and mayor and town managers, but also your family. They're obviously patriots for the Parks and Recreation Department. We appreciate that. Before I turn it over to our next speaker or presenter, we're going to show a short video of Mr. Gleason, who is the award winner, the Lifetime Service Award winner, and then I will introduce Mr. Coon Victory.
We'd already been coaching in Nashville with my oldest daughter, Rhonda. And when we come here, had already been involved with the Smyrna softball, girls softball, because they'd come and played a tournament in Antioch. And when I got here, Dickie Thomas is in charge of it then, and then I was able to take over Ms. Willie's old team, the Dixie Debs, and stayed with it all the way through. When I came through the programs, I got into umpiring, I got into basketball officiating. I was able to do both. I did ASA, ISA, USSSA, and I umpired all over the Mid-Southeast. But now I follow the great-grandkids around just playing travel ball. And I love it dearly, and I thank the good Lord each day that I'm healthy and able to still do it. They were special. His dad was just like a father to the whole community, and he was always there if you ever needed him. Just to give an instance, I was putting on a tournament down in Laverne, and the lights went out on me on Friday night, just as the tournament got started. I didn't know who to call, so I called Mr. Victory. He was right there. He got the lights going. I offered to pay him for what he put in. He said, "Nah, don't worry about it. They owe me some things." So he went on back home. He come right on that night and got us back going again. I can be at the complex, or run into them at Walmart, or just out on the street, and they'll say, "Big Daddy." And I look and like, I don't know this person. That's the first thing that goes through your mind. Then they come up to you and said, "You remember when I wasn't much bigger than this, and you was umpiring when I played ball, and you coached me? My children are playing ball now because of what you taught me." When I would coach, she was there keeping the scorebook. And I appreciate Coon acknowledging her too. He said she needs the award as well as you do, which I agree. Because with her support, I probably could not have made it all the way through as far as I've come. Over 62 years. And I love her dearly. And I thank the good Lord each day that He allowed her to be in my life. I appreciate it very much. And I thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and God for giving me the ability to be able to do what I did years ago.
Great job there. If you were trying to choke everybody up, I think you did. Yeah, and yeah, I understand. I would say if I was one of those people arguing with you when you were umpiring, I apologize now that I'm close to you. So congratulations. That's great. A great video there, and pulls on the heartstrings. I am going to ask Kenneth Coon Victory to present you the award. I always like to say a little bit about Mr. Victory. Before I do that, he's a former county commissioner, former commissioner of Parks and Recreation, and first recipient of this Lifetime Service Award back in 1990. His father won the award the very next year. We actually got to name ball fields or athletic fields out at Cedarstone Park after all 4 commissioners this past June, and I'm proud to say that first field was named after Mr. Victory. He's well known for initiating many of the programs we get to enjoy today, and his family is synonymous with the Parks and Recreation here in our town, but also in Middle Tennessee. So I am proud to know Mr. Victory and his family, and proud that he gets to present this another year. So Mr. Victory, if you'd come on up. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. First, I want to thank Ed for those kind remarks that you made about me and Daddy. I would like to add my congratulations to all the winners tonight and to the many, many other volunteers out front and also behind the scenes that make the Smyrna Recreation Program run so well. I would like to thank Mike and all his staff for keeping the facilities safe, clean, and always in tip-top shape. Also, I'd like to recognize the mayor, the city council, the town manager, the administration, and all the departments of the city working together to make the recreation department run smoothly and being successful. Tonight, I have the honor to recognize this year's Lifetime Service Award winner, Ed Gleason. A volunteer in the truest sense of the word, Ed has spent over 40 years working and volunteering in just about every sport the town of Smyrna has to offer. Alongside his wife, Jean, they worked hard to devote whatever they could to help promote not only a love of sports, but helping to instill the volunteer spirit in all they came in contact with. Ed and Jean have been members of Highland Heights Church of Christ and often participate and organize many of the activities the church provides. Some of the activities are the Blood Donor Program, the Meals on Wheels program. They also personalized birthday and anniversary cards for members of the church. Ed developed his love for sports while playing baseball and basketball at David Lipscomb High School in Nashville. The love continued well into adulthood when Ed began to volunteer his time as a coach, a board member, a scorekeeper, and umpire. If you know anything about recreational softball in Smyrna or across the state of Tennessee, you know the name Ed Gleason. In the early 70s, Ed volunteered as a softball coach in the girls' slow pitch program. He coached the youth girls for many years. Ed was the first coach to take the best girls softball player from Smyrna on a road tournament, and that is what started what we call today the travel teams. In the early 80s, Ed coached Smyrna's first girls team to take part in the Slow Pitch World Series tournament in Hutchinson, Kansas. They rode a school bus to Hutchinson, Kansas and back. Ed and Jean have 5 children. 4 of the children participated in one of the sports while students at Smyrna High School. While their children were playing, Ed and Jean were members and officers of the Smyrna High School Booster Club. Ed's many talents led him to be associated with several youth and adult sports leagues in the Smyrna community, such as Smyrna Adult Softball, Smyrna Girls Softball, Smyrna Junior Basketball, and Smyrna Baseball. It is safe to say that none of these athletic leagues would be where they are today without the help and foundation of Ed Gleason. Ed, tonight I'm happy to present to you the Kenneth Coon Victory Lifetime Achievement Award. And it reads, Kenneth Coon Victory Lifetime Achievement Award presented to Ed Gleason with sincere appreciation from the town of Smyrna for a lifetime of dedication and unselfish volunteer service to the good people of the Smyrna community, given by the citizens of Smyrna, February 19, 2021. Ed, if you'd come up.
Thank y'all. See if I can say this without getting choked up. I love Smyrna. But I thank my God and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to have the ability to do what I've been able to do. I thank you, the council, thank you, the mayor, and I thank the city of Smyrna for the opportunity to participate in the Smyrna Girls Softball League, the Smyrna Adult League, Smyrna Junior Basketball, and the Smyrna Booster Club. I'd like to just say something like I said a while ago. What touches your heart is when you're coaching and you can look into a child's eyes and you tell they're starving for love. And they play just to be able to have somebody to pay attention to them. And what breaks you and what really touches your heart is when they come up and they put their arms around you and say, "Coach, I love you." That's what it's all about. Thank y'all.
We're going to move on to the young leader presentation, and Ms. Kamel, congratulations. So we're excited that you won this award, and excited this award's part of our program now. This started several years ago, and the Parks Advisory Board developed this award to recognize our young leaders and our youth and bring them in front of people that's blazed that trail and got Parks and Recreation going, so it's a good mix for us. I'm going to introduce Marty Smith. Marty is our Recreation Supervisor, and he works hard on this award and sends nominations, the forms out to several schools, several organizations, does a great job at that. So Marty's been with us several years and does a good job putting this together as well. So Marty, come on up.
Thank you, Mike. And typically this is where I get to congratulate everybody in the room, but we don't have everybody in the room. But I'd like to congratulate all those that are receiving awards tonight, especially Big Daddy, who got our Lifetime Service Award tonight. So congratulations to Big Daddy. Mr. Vaughn, who is a teacher at Stewart's Creek High School, it teaches Sandra. He was the one that was supposed to present this award tonight, but he could not be here. We had to move their date around on him a little bit, so I don't fault him. But I'm going to read something on his behalf. After nominating Sandra, he should be the one doing this, but I'm going to read it on his behalf, so just pretend I look like Mr. Vaughn, okay? I'll do my best. As it reads from Mr. Vaughn, I have known Sandra for 2.5 years at Stewart's Creek High School. She was a student in my Advanced Honors Chemistry class and AP Chemistry class, so she essentially took the hardest classes she could find. From the first day of class, Sandra constantly checked in with me. She was the first to ask a question and to reach for clarification. She is remarkably smart. But more importantly, Sandra is a delight. Sandra simply lights up a room with her bubbly personality and her infectious smile. She is friendly and serves others with a humble and kind attitude. I remember once when Sandra walked into my classroom and began explaining how no one can get her down, how she will exude positivity no matter what, how it doesn't matter the obstacle, she will overcome. We joked about how she could be a motivational speaker, but in reality, she probably will be at some point. But that won't be her crowning moment. Sandra will far surpass that and do so much more. I am honored to have had the opportunity to know her, and I'm excited to see what she accomplishes next, and her influence will change our community. Well, I don't know that I could do this any better, and I have not known Sandra near as long as he has, but I've had the opportunity to text with Sandra more than I would like, so I appreciate your flexibility with us. I've had the opportunity to talk to Sandra on the phone, and I will say I've been a part of several Young Leader Awards, and I've talked with several young leaders, obviously, but talking to you was like I was talking to I'm not touting you, but it was like I was talking to a future president or a future congressman or congresswoman. You could just tell as soon as you started talking to her, you're like, how old is she? You're going to do much better up here talking one day than I could ever do, and I know that for a fact. But no, without further ado, I want to get the mayor back up here to present you with your award. Our Young Leader of the Year is Sandra Kamel. Also accompanying with that is a $500 scholarship from Smyrna Independent Merchants Association, Miss Vanessa Haley and H.G. Cole. If they would come up as well, we're going to present you with your big check. All right, so Sandra, come on up. We also were, typically, Sandra, I'm the one that comes to the school and does the interview with you. I didn't get to do that this year as well. So if we could, we're going to show that interview right now.
Hi everyone, my name is Sandra Kamel and I'm a senior at Stewart Creek High School. I volunteered for a plethora of different events, but the first one that's come to my mind when reading this question was when I volunteered for the 2020 presidential election. And I thought that was a big thing for me because I'm only 17 years old, so I couldn't vote. But through this opportunity presented by Coach Britt, I got to help out in our government and cheer on first-time voters who were a little nervous, a little scared, but I think we made the experience worth it for them. What inspires me is the idea that there's still kindness out there. A lot of people, especially in our day and age, think that, you know, chivalry is dead. There's nobody out there who just puts themselves aside and helps others, and I don't like to think that way just because there's plenty of people out there who are starting these nonprofits, who are sacrificing their time and their talents for somebody else and nothing in return. So the idea of selflessness helps me stay positive and helps me do more volunteer work. I like volunteering because it gives you a chance to use your talents that you're born with to help somebody else. At the end of the day, we're only on this earth for such a small period of time, and if you subtract yourself from the equation, there's still so many others alive. So volunteering for me is a chance to make a bigger impact than I could do through my life alone. So whether that is through HOSA, an organization, or whether that is just through donating blood, there's a lot of ways that you can volunteer, and I love how it's just so accessible to everybody, and really anybody could leave this imprint on this world. Being nominated for this award makes me feel so incredibly grateful, and if I'm being honest, I wasn't expected to get nominated or to win. Mr. Vaughn was the one who nominated me, and I had him in class for 2 years. First year was Advanced Honors Chemistry, and then the second year was AP Chemistry. So during those 2 years, he not only got to know me inside the classroom, but outside of the classroom as well. And to him, I owe a big thank you for recognizing that and just motivating me along my high school career.
All right, next on the agenda is the Business of the Year presentation. The criteria for this award is simple. It's support the community and give back to the citizens, and they have certainly done this, the people that's won this in the past and the one this year. Past winners include Allen Dairy Care, Gill's Ace Hardware, Smith Brothers Car Wash, Jim and Nick's, and Bennett's Automotive. We've been giving this award for several years for groups and organizations and businesses that give back to their community, volunteer, and coach and just and get involved with the community in more ways than just athletics, really just in all organizations. Thomas & Hutton, formerly Dempsey Dillon & Associates, does just that. They are strong in the community. They volunteer a lot. They've been a big deal helping out down at the Depot District and the Downtown Revitalization Project, and then served on several committees. I know Jerome has, and we've been on several committees together during that time. They're community-minded with many of the same goals that we have as a town and as volunteers. They've been involved in many of the parks projects in recent years, including the Rotary Soccer Park Annex, the Depot Stage Canopy, Volunteer Park Improvements, the Zalma Park Surveying, West Fork Park. They helped us on the grant and the design of that park, and overseeing the construction on all of these. Cedar Stone Park, which was just opened back in June of 2020, was an $8.5 million community park. They were the part of the park that meant the most to us when that was watching over it during the construction. They designed it and watched over the construction, and we came away with a really nice park that's going to be used tomorrow for a tournament, actually. So we're proud to announce that Thomas & Hutton, formerly Dempsey & Dillon Associates, is the Business of the Year for 2020. And I now present to you Jerome Dempsey to come up and accept the award.
All right, so next up, we have our Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year is always kind of tough for us. We actually get a lot of applicants for that or nominations. And we elect that in our office or choose in our office. Oftentimes we get to know these coaches. I don't have the pleasure of knowing you personally tonight, but after reading about you and hearing about you, I know you're well deserving. So I'm going to read this on behalf of Smyrna Fast Pitch League. They weren't able to read this tonight, so I'm going to read it for them. Coach of the Year is Dennis Massey. Dennis has volunteered to help many teams beyond his, and he always is there. Every time I look, he is helping other teams. He is the first person to get to the field even when he doesn't have a game, and he is one of the last ones to leave at night. He is truly a dedicated coach, even though I am constantly fussing at him. He literally coaches 4 teams, and he's a great coach. He coaches multiple teams, stepped up, and has helped some in his own division. The girls respect his time and asked to play for him because they learned and had a great time. So without further ado, Coach of the Year for 2020 is Mr. Dennis Massey with the Smyrna Fast Pitch League. Next up, we'd like to offer an award and a congratulations to our Parent of the Year. Our Parent of the Year comes from Smyrna Baseball League, and that's the same nomination process. We take nominations from all of our leagues, and this year our Parent of the Year comes from Smyrna Baseball League. And I'm going to read that on their behalf as well. Smyrna Baseball League's Parent of the Year is Morgan Whittemore. Morgan is a wife, mom to 2 beautiful children, and a dedicated league supporter. She is energetic, always available to help, and never shies away from hard work. Morgan exemplifies Smyrna Baseball League's commitment to excellence, and that she is always willing and encourages her players, coaches, and parents, and is respectful of not only the game, but those that work to make the baseball seasons happen. Her ability to lead by example has been seen time and time again, whether through volunteering in the concession stand when needed, assisting her son's team with practices and games, or providing support to her husband so that he can coach and serve the league in his capacity as a board member. Morgan genuinely reflects the spirit of this league, and she never hesitates to jump in feet first to help out. Her passion for the game and for this league is evident time and time again. Parents are an important part of Smyrna Baseball League. Their support, encouragement, and participation helps keep the league running, and Morgan is a shining example of the partnership between Smyrna Baseball League and its parents. We are honored to have Morgan as a part of our league, and we hope that she remains a part of it for many years to come. Morgan, Parent of the Year for 2020. Next part of our program, I'd like to recognize Smyrna Baseball League's Volunteer of the Year. The Volunteer of the Year for Smyrna Baseball League is Nick Brewer. Nick is Smyrna Baseball League's Volunteer of the Year for 2020. When we spoke of this award, I knew there was only one person in mind. Back in the spring, when Nick came in person registration, signing up his 4-year-old, we mentioned to him that we needed one more coach for the 7-8 division, if he knew anyone. Without hesitation, Nick answered that he wanted to do it. He stepped up to coach a team with no protected players and ran with it, just to help the league and the kids. Also, Nick was very active in helping Smyrna Baseball League as a commissioner for the 5 and 6 division, but he held many jobs. Anytime you needed help or something needed to be done, Nick was there. Nick is also a loving husband to his wife Ashley and a father to 2 kids, Aiden and Lakin. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to the league and on behalf of the city. Smyrna Baseball League, congratulations, Nick, on a well-deserved Volunteer of the Year for 2020. Nick, come on up. All right, and now we get to do some of the fun parts. We inject some youth into this program. Player of the Year for Smyrna Baseball League. Elijah Littlejohn, the Smyrna Baseball League 2020 Player of the Year. His favorite position is shortstop, but plays multiple positions. One of Elijah's claims to fame is pitching his team to multiple victories when he faced with tough situations. In the fall, Elijah hit not 1, 2, but 3 home runs in the 11-12 division. His favorite team was World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers, who highlight one of Elijah's and Nashville's favorite son, Mookie Betts. One of Elijah's fondest moments was when he went to see the Dodgers play with his father/his coach. Elijah aspires to become a professional baseball player. He's an honor roll student. Finally, while baseball and school are important parts of his life, he enjoys a good movie like Nacho Libre. Good choice. On behalf of the Smyrna Baseball League, congratulations, Elijah. You're an amazing young player. Come on up, Elijah. Moving on to the next part of our program is Smyrna Fast Pitch League. The volunteer of the Smyrna Fast Pitch League is Katrina Jones. On behalf of that, I will read as the president, Jennifer Miller, and it goes as follows. She's always stepped up and stepped in whenever a situation arises to help where she is needed. She's straight to the point and definitely gets the job done. She's a good support of her daughter, but also appreciates the manner in which she has supported the league through picking up in the concessions. Katrina, I know that if Jennifer vouches for you, you do a good job because she drives a hard bargain around that league, I've heard. So, Volunteer of the Year for Smyrna Fast Pitch League, Katrina Jones. All right, now the Player of the Year for Smyrna Fast Pitch League is Kaylin O'Neill. And again, this is coming from the president. I'll read for her. She is always motivating her team and always has a positive attitude. She got an injury this season and still wanted to support her team. She even gives the motivation to other players on other teams. She is loved by many at the park, and she always has a smile on her face, on and off the field. Player and Athlete of the Year for Smyrna Fast Pitch League is Kaylin O'Neill. Now to move on to Smyrna Youth Football League to present the Volunteer of the Year for Smyrna Youth Football is Eddie Wisdom.
It's my privilege to introduce our Volunteer of the Year. It's long overdue. Coach Fain has been in our program for over 25 years. He's coached all the kids from 5 and 6 all the way up to 11, 12. And there's not a finer person that I know. He has been coaching since 1995 in our league. He also coached several years in T-ball and coach pitch. He can be counted on to be one of the first to volunteer his time at sign-ups, equipment fitting, working the gates for bowl games or championships or whatever may be needed. He's been a mentor to countless young men in the Smyrna Youth Football League and doesn't ever forget them once they leave the program. He follows them through their high school on into college and just keeps up with them and always tries to hold them accountable as well. He believes that once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog, and as an assistant coach to Donnie Carter for many years, he maintains Coach Carter's mantra of we're going to teach you a little bit about football and a lot about life. He does not seek recognition from others and truly has a servant's heart and is definitely deserving of this award. And he is one special individual, and we are proud to honor you, Coach Mike Fain.
All right, now we want to recognize our Smyrna Adult Softball League Volunteer of the Year. Scott DeMumbrian, the president of the league, was unable to be here tonight, so I'll read that on his behalf as well. We'd like to recognize and honor our winner for Smyrna Adult Softball League in the year of 2020. Josh Pitto is ours for this year. Josh has been a part of our league for 6 years now. After a few shaky years early on, Josh has matured and really began to grow into a very reliable and mature league employee and volunteer. Generally, the winner of this award is based on its outstanding performance and going the extra mile. Well, this past season, Josh has truly showed those qualities. There were multiple teams this year that was called upon to either help in opening and closing the park, pick up shifts, and not one time did he say no. This past September, he was very helpful while I was out for the birth of my second daughter. When other board members were unavailable because of the previous engagements, Josh reached out to me and said that he would be able to take care of it. The fact that he even asked to help is just important and meaningful as actually doing the things needed. These reasons alone show how important he is to the league, as well as why he is our winner for this year. They say it takes a small village to raise a child. Well, I believe that it does that to run a league as well. With volunteers like Josh, our league has been able to operate and continue functioning. In closing, I would again like to thank Josh Pitto for his hard work and improved dedication to our league. And he's got a quote here. It says, "Pitto has set the gold standard for our volunteers." So Josh Pitto, the Volunteer of the Year for Smyrna Adult Softball League. All right, moving to our next league on our program is Stones River Football Club, and recognizing our Volunteer of the Year to present that award is Tommy Williams. Correction, Marion Fleener to present that award.
Thank you. The SRFC Volunteer of the Year is Sarah Schmackel. Sarah grew up in Wisconsin golfing and playing soccer. She was beyond excited to get her son to fall in love with the sport that she loved so much, and might have been devastated when her first experience as a parent at Rotary Soccer Park was with her 3-year-old Luke. Luke was trying to convince her that she needed to be on the field holding his hand during that season. She had to play with him. Luke didn't fall in love with soccer that year, but Sarah didn't give up. She let him try other things and led him back to the soccer a few years later when he was more willing to try it on his own. Sarah was the ultimate soccer mom. She got her son to practice. She cheered him on from the sidelines. She brought team snacks. She volunteered in the concession stand. And little did she know that that would actually lead to her being voluntold years later. This time around, Luke found a passion and a love for the game. He decided he loved playing his heart out on the field, and after several seasons of rec, he decided to step up to the next level and try travel. Once Luke became SRFC obsessed, Sarah was happy to come along for the full ride experience. She stepped up to the line and wanted to do what she could to help Luke's team and our league as a whole. Sarah happily kicked off the role of the travel soccer mom. She gathered teammates under her wing. She was always willing to step up to the plate and take a group of kids out of town weekend after weekend. She smiled and laughed through weekends of cheering on the sidelines, loads and loads of dirty uniforms, laundry, pizza parties in the hotel lobby, and lifeguarding at the hotel pool. She again stepped up to make sure our league had parental support at awards banquets, kickoff events, and team parties. She helped Luke get his referee certification when our league needed referees. She gave up her weekend time after time to try to do all the rotten, odd jobs that are necessary to run our tournament. But her shining moment in her volunteer career was her agreeing several years ago to step up and take over a dirty, messed up, and constantly busy concession stand at Rotary Soccer Park. She has single-handedly cleaned that building to make it sparkle and shine. She leads a fabulous group of teenagers that serve our community and feed families on our players Saturday after Saturday, season after season. The greatest thing about Sarah is she does everything with a servant leadership focus. She refuses to ask anyone to do anything that she herself is not willing to pitch in and do. She's the first one to show up at an event and the last one to leave. She's hardworking, she's loyal, and she herself is SRFC obsessed. We are blessed beyond measure to have her as a part of our team. In closing, I'd like to share the quote, "Volunteerism is the voice of the people put into action. These actions shape and mold the present into the future of which we can all be proud of." Sarah is certainly helping shape the future as SRFC into something this entire Smyrna community can be proud of. And it's my honor to present her tonight as the SRFC Volunteer of the Year.
And now for Stones River Football Club's Youth Athlete of the Year, presenting is Mr. Tommy Williams.
When Colin Fleener's parents signed him up for our Ripples introductory program 13 years ago, they had no idea they would someday have Rotary Soccer Park listed in their phones as Colin's second home. Put simply, Colin loves the game, loves being around the game, all of the time. He loves reffing the game, he loves watching the game, he loves mentoring young players in the game, and he loves playing the game. In the 13 years since dribbling his first ball at the Rotary Park, Colin has been a mainstay at the facility and in our programs. Moving from Ripples to our recreational programs and then to our select teams, Colin has an energy and passion that rivals any of his peers. What makes him a truly special young man is that his energy and passion are not just for soccer. They are an energy and passion for life. I have had the pleasure of coaching Colin for a number of years. As a coach, it's cliche to say you'd love to have a team full of players that would be willing to run through walls. With Colin, I think he might literally be willing to run through those walls, just because he might enjoy running through walls. There is absolutely no quit in this young man. That said, there is a big heart. All of his love for the game, or as his love for the game has grown, he has taken upon himself to share the game with the next generation through our mentor program. Helping tear down walls that sometimes exist between young player and old coach, Colin has helped mentor the next generation of soccer players in our area. Speaking of walls, if you've ever been to the Rotary Soccer Park, you know the shooting wall has been a mainstay of our facility and program for decades. Many a player have used that wall to put in the work required to accomplish their goals and dreams within the game. Over the years, it has taken a bit of a beating. So when Colin had to come up with an idea for his Eagle Scout project, he set his sights on restoring the wall to its former glory. I believe the new support poles went in yesterday. Shaking heads, yes. So in the coming weeks, you'll be able to see the latest fruits of his labor at the park. To recap, he will run through walls for you if you ask him, or maybe just because he might like doing that sort of thing. He will break down walls that stand in the way of others enjoying the game, and he would even help you build a wall when one is needed. One of the guiding objectives of Stones River Football Club is to develop lifelong soccer players, fans, families, and enthusiasts. In a nutshell, we want to create a bunch of soccer people that strengthen our community and carry those values and the love of the game going forward. Essentially, we want to cultivate an environment that will produce the next generation of Colin Fleeners. It's an absolute honor and privilege to present the Athlete of the Year award to Colin Fleener.
All right, now moving to the next part of our program, something we enjoy doing every year is recognizing a league as a stewardship award winner. And to present that award, our athletics coordinator is Kyle Mooney.
Thank you, Marty. First of all, I want to congratulate all of the winners this evening. Without you guys, we truly could not do our job. You guys make it so easy, and you're easy to work with. You do everything, for the most part, the right way, and you make it so much easier for us to do our job. So thank you all. This award any year could go to any of our leagues, but especially in 2020, it could have went to any of our leagues. Just the fact that we were able to play sports at all is a great accomplishment during the middle of a pandemic. So thank you again for all of that hard work that you put in for 2020. Our winner for this year will be the Smyrna Fast Pitch League. They a couple of things they accomplished this season. They collected over 2,500 cans of food for the Town of Smyrna Canned Food Drive, which is a great accomplishment. That's a lot of canned food that helped a lot of people. They're great with their communication. They get us anything we ask for just about the minute that we ask for it, if not sooner. And I can bug Jennifer a lot of times during the day, and she always gets it right to me exactly what I need. So without any further ado, I would like to call Smyrna Fast Pitch League, Jennifer Williford. Congratulations.
Last but certainly not least on our program this evening is Smyrna Junior Basketball League. And to present for Smyrna Junior Basketball League's 2020 Volunteer of the Year is Mr. Tracy Broussard.
Thank you, Marty. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Lane Crawley is a father, coach, teacher, and innovator. He was a Spanish teacher in Metro and Rutherford County and is currently teaching technology to adults at Dell Technologies. His journey in coaching began during the 2010-11 season with his 5-year-old twin boys. They won one game that season. It was a baptism by fire, but he made a list of the things that he wished he'd known before the season, and the next season was a much different one. Lane has coached baseball, basketball, and football for 11 years, most of the time as head coach of 2 teams. He enjoys working with people, solving problems, and trying to make things better. He joined the Smyrna Junior Basketball League board to help improve the overall experience for everyone involved. Although he was reluctant about being president of the board, he saw an opportunity to innovate and enhance the experience for volunteers, officials, players, and parents. This year's Smyrna Junior Basketball League Volunteer of the Year is Mr. Lane Crawley.
And now we have our Smyrna Junior Basketball Youth Athlete of the Year. To present for that is Mr. Jeff McCann.
Good evening. My name is Jeff McCann. I'm the principal at Thurman Francis Arts Academy Magnet School here in Smyrna, and I'm honored to present the award for Smyrna Junior Basketball League Athlete of the Year to a student athlete that I am privileged to know, Miss Trinity Mormon. I would like to share a few words with you from her coaches, her family, and her teachers. And in these words, you're going to hear a whole lot more about the content of her character than you'll hear about her formidable athletic skills. First of all, from her coaches. Coach Kristen Chase says, Trinity is the kind of athlete that every coach loves to have on his or her team. She leads her teammates by example, always going her hardest and doing exactly what is asked of her. On the basketball court, Trinity is our most versatile player with the ability and basketball IQ to play literally any position. I always say that Trinity is our calm, meaning she can be placed at any position in any situation. She doesn't get overwhelmed or flustered by others, always playing her game her way. Trinity is such a valuable player on our team and a joy to coach. Coach Kelly Hagar says that she's truly a coach's dream to have on our team. And here's how I would describe Trinity. With the words scholar, smart, kind, caring, pleasant, a great attitude. She's a team player, never selfish. She's very respectful on all levels to her teachers, her teammates, her coaches, and even the refs. She's hardworking, she's versatile, and she always gives 100%, and she encourages others. She's a fantastic example to her teammates in all areas of her life. And the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Her entire family is truly a group of top-notch people. The same things could be referenced above about Tristan, her older brother. A little bit about Trinity and her family. Her parents are Reggie and Devola Mormon. Her brother is Tristan Mormon. He's also a former TFAA student and an outstanding example of character and athletic skill. Her grandmother is Annie Spann, a frequent presence at our school who supports everything her grandchildren do. Trinity has attended Thurman Francis Arts Academy since kindergarten. You know, she has never missed a day of school since starting school as a 5-year-old. She has had perfect attendance ever since that first day. She has achieved honor roll or principal's list every single grading period that she's been at Thurman Francis. And recently in 6th grade, she got principal's list for the entire year and was awarded the Citizenship Award. Trinity plays basketball, soccer, softball, and also ran track for TFAA. She is a member of the Junior Beta Club and the Student Council, both positions of honor and achievement. Trinity's been part of the Smyrna Rec League teams for basketball, soccer, and softball since the age of 4. And she loves making new friends and is very competitive. Trinity is a member of the Kingdom Kids Ministry at her church, Mount Zion Baptist Church in Nashville, where she also serves as a youth usher. Trinity loves to cook, dance, and spend time with her family. Now, from my own personal perspective, Trinity is the child that every teacher dreams of having in their class, and every principal hopes to have in their school. Her smile lights up my day every day when I see her. Her manners and grace are an example for every student to follow, and they all look up to her. Everyone, and I mean everyone, likes Trinity. She's the friend you hope your children becomes friends with. She is intelligent, she is creative, she's fun, and she's driven to be the best at whatever she takes on. I asked her teachers to give me some adjectives that best describe Trinity, and I was inundated with words like talented, ambitious, humble, responsible, conscientious, resilient, focused, dependable, positive, hardworking, beautiful, inside and out, kind, compassionate, trustworthy, helpful, genuine, She's a sponge. She soaks in everything that you teach her. She is the real deal. She's a friend, she's a leader, and an all-around cool person. She embodies the 4 character traits that we have at Thurman Francis: respect and responsibility, acceptance, motivation, self-control, and self-discipline. And I'll leave you with her own words. She just joined the Junior Beta Club this year, and when asked, why do you want to be part of a club with the motto, let us lead by serving others? And why is living up to this motto important to you? This was her response. There are many reasons why I would like to be part of a club with the motto, let us lead by serving others. One reason is because it can make the world a better place. If everyone served others, it would limit the rate of depression, and it would give you an overall amazing feeling about yourself. You can go home and say, I made someone's life a little better today. Living up to this motto is important to me because it is essential to give back to your community. Your community could mean someone who lives in Murfreesboro, Smyrna, or just your next door neighbor. But you cannot spell community without the word unity. To make the world a better place, it cannot be just one person. We all must work together despite our differences. Everyone has the chance to make the world a better place by living up to the motto of, let us lead by serving others. As a leader in my community, I can be a role model for others. My motto is, if I could just make one person's life a little bit better with Junior Beta Club, then I could do that for the rest of my life. Wow. How many 6th graders do you know with that kind of maturity and compassion for others? Well, Trinity, you do make all our lives better just by your presence. It's my honor and privilege to present the award for Smyrna Junior Basketball League Athlete of the Year to Miss Trinity Mormon.
Well, we've come to the end of the program tonight, and I appreciate everybody tuning in to the virtual ceremony tonight and modified ceremony. I do want to thank a couple of people. The Smyrna Event Center, Chef Anthony and his staff for providing the facility for us. Smyrna TV, who's doing the film tonight, will be doing the editing. We appreciate the flexibility there. Marty Smith and his staff, the athletic staff, thank y'all for adjusting this year and making it happen. I really appreciate that. I'd like to say congratulations to all the recipients again. Mayor and Town Council, Town Manager, the support, and being here all night. I really appreciate that. I know it was different, but you guys stayed here all night and took pictures and always give the support to the community, and we really appreciate that. And most of all, I just want to say thank you to the citizens and the volunteers who make Smyrna what it is. This program every year is part of that, is about volunteerism. And I think tonight, with everything that happened, the people we honored, that spirit continues on, and we're proud to be a part of that here in the town of Smyrna and the Parks and Recreation Department. Y'all have a good night.